and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be doing a try a chapter sci-fi style. Okay, so if you're new here, my name is Karina Joy, and this channel is all about books and my love for them. If you're returning, I really appreciate you just hanging in there with me and listening to me talk about books. So today I am excited to share the 4 books that I have tried recently. I've been in this big sci-fi mood. I love sci-fi TV shows and movies, but I've never read a whole lot of sci-fi. Just thinking back, I think the only sci-fi that I have read recently would be Out of the Silent Planet by C.S. Lewis, and I read that last year. And I don't know, Hunger Games I don't think is considered sci-fi. I would have to look into that. I think it's considered, it's considered dystopian. I don't know. That one's kind of on the realm of who knows, but Hunger Games could be a sci-fi. Anyway, I've been in the mood to read more of it, and so I decided that I would pick out some sci-fi books and try a chapter just to see if they're worthy to stay on my massive TBR list. So here are the 4 books that I tried. I think I mentioned this in the last try chapter I did. I could do vlogs of this, but where I'm at the season in my life, it is super hard for me to do vlogs because my children are just not at a good age for it, and so I'm just choosing to put them off unless I have a good situation to do them in. And so I'm not gonna vlog, but I will tell you what I read and give you a little bit more than just the synopsis for the book, and maybe you might be interested in it. Okay, so this first one is kind of hard to read. Okay, I had to look at it. So it's 2001, A Space Odyssey. I really like this edition. Got it from the library. It is by Arthur C. Clarke. Now, I'm not real sure when this was published. Okay, so the original copyright was 1968. And I've heard about this my entire life, but I have never watched any adaptations. I'm not sure if there are any, and I've never read the book. So the first chapter, I'm conflicted about. Okay, so it happens after I want to say like a 10,000 year drought. 10 million year drought, and the reign of the terrible lizards is over, and it starts out following this tribe of man-ape creatures, and it just talks about like their life and the fact that they're starving because they don't understand that they could hunt. And yeah, so I'm wondering, and I don't know, because you couldn't really pick up whether this is futuristic or, I don't believe in evolution in the same way that mainstream scientists believe in it. I believe in it in a Christian mindset, which I could go into all kinds of details on that, but I'm not going to. I won't let my nerd come out right now. But I'm wondering if this is in the past as well. But it's a space odyssey, So the very end of the first chapter, it talks about, can't remember how it was worded. Okay, so it says, and twice there passed slowly across the sky, rising up to the zenith and descending into the east, a dazzling point of light more brilliant than a star. So I'm assuming that's going to be like a spaceship. That was the last sentence of the first chapter. And I'm conflicted because I'm like, well, I kind of want to know what that is, but I'm not super interested about the man-ape creeper, or the man-ape creatures. So yeah, I don't know. I will probably keep this on my list because the writing, I understood it. It was intriguing the whole time. I wasn't bored by it. I just don't know if I'll read it anytime soon, but I'll keep it on my TBR. Possibly I might read it at one point. If you've read this before and you think I should read it right now, let me know. But I think I'm gonna set it aside for a while. I actually didn't really notice this until right this moment. These are the same editions, I guess, for these sci-fi books. They are forwarded by Neil Gaiman, and they have the same kind of artwork on them. I think it's kind of neat. That leads to this next book. This is Dune. Guys, I love the idea of Dune. When I see the covers, the new covers, which I'll put up here, they are beautiful. And the idea behind it. And I even have watched the first part of the movie, which I'm probably just going to watch the movies, which kind of gives you a spoiler on this chapter. And the movie is intriguing. I had a hard time with this. I actually did not read the whole first chapter. I read 2 pages of it. And it was because it's kind of like high fantasy in the sense that everything is made of words and you don't know what's going on. And the author, Frank Herbert, is just like saying things as if you should know. And I just have more things that I want to read at a higher priority. I'm not saying I'll never pick up this book, but I am not going to pick it up anytime soon. Do I love the covers of the new versions of these books? Yes, I do. And the temptation in me is to buy them because they're beautiful. But I'm almost certain I would never read them. And so I might have to pass on this. But maybe I'll watch the movie and it will like open up a whole new world, and maybe then I could understand it. But as of right now, I'm not interested in reading the book right now. Okay, so the next 2 are actually by the same author. I honestly just kind of randomly picked these from my Goodreads list. I just found sci-fi books that I had at the library. And so these 2 are by Marissa Meyer, and it is Cinder, the first book in the Lunar series, and then Renegades, the first book in, I'm pretty sure, the Renegade series is what it's called. I will put for sure what the name of it is here. So I'm going to start with Cinder. This one I've heard tons of great things. I love the new covers. Let me just show you. Okay, so if you've never heard of these books, these are the old covers of Cinder, Scarlet, Crest, and Winter. Okay, these are sci-fi retellings of fairy tales. Cinderella is Cinder, obviously. Scarlet is Red Riding Hood. Cress looks like it might be Rapunzel, and then Winter, I'm not sure. It looks like maybe Snow White, but I don't know. And that's the 4th book, so I don't want to know. But that's the old covers. These are the new covers, and I really, really like the new covers. I think they are really pretty. I love the bright colors. I think this one's my favorite. But yeah, the covers are fantastic. And they're like there's this new adjective out there. I don't know where it came from, but it's buttery is the adjective. But yeah, it's like buttery here, this cover, and I really like it. Anyway, this is Cinder by Marissa Meyer. Now, Cinder is part machine. She's not really part robot, I don't think. Of course, I could be wrong. She's a cyborg, so yeah, part robot. But she only has like her hand and her leg. And then the rest of her is human. So she is a mechanic, and you start out the book in her shop in the market of the city. And she's working on things, and then this really strangely dressed guy comes up, and she realizes that he's the prince. And of course, you know, she's super nervous because he's the prince. And he asks her to fix his android that he has. And he's acting a little bit shady, kind of like he doesn't want her to know why he wants her to fix it and why he can't take it to the mechanics in the palace. And so that's the first chapter. What really hooked me and what makes me want to read more of this, at the very end of the first chapter, you hear screaming coming from the place next door, and the lady next door has the plague. And so everybody's running, screaming because they don't want the plague as well. And yeah, that's how that first chapter ends. So I'm very intrigued. I definitely want to keep reading this. I really want to buy this soon, because I can read it on Scribd, but there's something about certain books, like if I feel like it's going to be a 5-star for me, I really want to read it in a physical form, even though I could listen to it or I could read it on an ebook. I just feel like I'm going to really love this, and I want my own copy of it. So I'm going to have to buy this pretty soon so I can read it. Okay, guys, this was my favorite out of all of them. I actually only read the prologue. Now, the prologue is like, I want to say the prologue is like 30 pages long. Okay, it's not 30 pages long, it's 16 pages long. But, oh my goodness. I have never heard anybody talk about this on BookTube, and I'm not real sure why. It's probably an older book. Like I said in several of my videos before, I am behind on things. Well, it was written in 2017, so it's not terribly old. But yeah, I don't know why I haven't heard anybody talk about this. The prologue just like ripped my heart out, and I want to read this now. The only problem is I really want my own copy, so I don't want to read it from the library or ebook or anything like that because... Okay, so the Renegades. Renegades are essentially superheroes. They live in a world where there's anarchy, and anarchy was caused because people that had special powers basically decided to just take over and throw any law systems out the window. And this is because they had been mistreated for a very long time, and they just basically snapped and took over. And so after a few years, people called the Renegades decided to start fighting against these factions of superheroes, for lack of a better term, people with special powers, and that's what the Renegades are. So this follows a little girl named Nova. In the prologue, she's 6, and she's just spending time with her family. Her sister's really sick. Because there's anarchy, it's really hard to get medicine, and so her uncle tends to go get their medicine for them, and you as an adult can kind of see the underlying message that maybe her uncle isn't on the up and up, and her parents are hesitant to ask him for things, but they do because they need the medicine for their baby. Nova has the special power of being able to put her sister to sleep. And so when her sister is so sick that her parents can't calm her down, her dad asks her to put her sister to sleep. And he tells her, "It's not fair for me to ask you to do this, but she needs the rest. She's sick." Her parents are just good people. They love her and they love her sister, and they're trying to raise their family in this archaic world. I don't want to tell you what happens in the prologue because I feel like you need to read it on your own. But let me tell you, the end of the prologue will rip your heart out. It is so sad and so terrible and awful, and I feel awful for Nova, and I can't wait to read her story. So I think this will probably be a 5-star, and I'm gonna have to buy it so that I can read it from my own copy. But anyway, that is my try chapter for this go around. I am trying to do, I have so many books on my Goodreads TBR, and I really don't know if most of them are any books that I actually want to read. So I am trying to do quite a few try chapters, and I've noticed that it helps me when I'm in a slump. So when I feel kind of slumpy, I just pick up a new book and read the first chapter, and then I decide if I want to keep it on my TBR or not. Scribd has really helped me do that with their ebooks, and I just, especially like when I'm going to bed, I don't want to read any books that I'm into, because if I fall asleep, I don't grasp the details. So when I'm reading to go to sleep, I actually want to go to sleep, and it's a perfect time to pick up these books that I'm intrigued by but not sure if I want to commit to. So I've been doing a lot of that, and it has really helped me be inspired to read. So you will probably see a whole lot more of these videos, but yeah, anyway, if you liked this video, please like and subscribe, comment below, let me know if you've read any of these, or if you're excited to read some of these. Don't forget to click the little bell down below. It will notify you when I upload new videos, and I will see you in the next one.